Hi guys, what's up? Once again, Lorenzo and Alberto with you, MobileExperience, and this time we're here with you to do the comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 and the Samsung Galaxy Note 3. So let's talk about the dimension first of all, and actually they are very similar. As Lorenzo is showing you, putting one on the other, they are very similar, so almost same dimension. Maybe the Note 4 is you can hold in your hand a little bit better because 2 millimeters left in the lower side, but still the dimensions are very similar, so no difference brought by this new Samsung Galaxy Note 4 in this aspect. The difference is on materials instead, because Note 4 has we can say it as an aluminium edge. So talking about materials, as Lorenzo is showing you right now, the Note 4 has this brand new aluminium edge, which is actually also very resistant and very beautiful with this cutting effect. So this is the first plus brought by Samsung Galaxy Note 4 in our opinion. On the back they're very similar actually. These are the different version, black and white, but if you compare the black version, we can say that on the back they're very similar. Synthetic leather for the black version of both Note 3 and Note 4. So this polycarbonate with synthetic leather effect in both phones, no difference about that. Let's talk about the specs right now. The display for Note 4 is quad 5.7 inches screen, Quad HD, 515 ppi. For the Note 3 is 5.7 inches screen, Full HD with 390 ppi. Quad-core 2.7 GHz Snapdragon 805 for Note 4 and Snapdragon 800 quad-core 2.3 GHz for Note 3, Adreno 420 Note 4 and Adreno 330 Note 3, 3GB of RAM for both phones. The camera is 16 megapixel with autofocus and flashlight image stabilizer for Note 4, 13 megapixel with autofocus and flashlight without image stabilizer for Note 3. That's the main difference, as we're going to see afterwards. The battery is very similar, 20 mAh more for Note 4, 3220 versus 3200. Okay, so right now we're going to pass by and we're going to talk about the user interface. Note 4, as you can see, has the latest version of TouchWiz. So there is this difference in the user interface, as Lorenzo is showing you right now. Now we're going to see which version of Android is installed on it, and the version is the 4.4.4 in Note 4 and 4.4.2 in Note 3. As you can see, both phones are very fluid. Talking about this aspect, you have to consider also that the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 has been used for a lot of months, but still remains very fluid, as you can see. So that's an impressive result, in our opinion, achieved by the Samsung Galaxy Note 4. It remains fluid after a lot of months of usage, of intensive usage, and Note 4 is, of course, very, very fluid. So you're not going to have any kind of problem if you're interested in this part. They both run in a great way. They're both very good optimized and of course very powerful. So the CPU runs these two devices in a great way. One mic more in the Note 4, as Lorenzo is showing you right now, 3 mics on the lower side. So maybe the audio part is a little bit better in Note 4, but we're going to see it in a meanwhile. Now we're going to talk about camera. So this, of course, is one of the most important aspects in phones, and we're going to see that's the aspect where the Samsung Galaxy Note 4 brought the bigger innovation, the camera. In other parts, the difference is not so big. In camera, it is actually, and now we're going to see why. So a lot of modes in both phones: HDR, panorama. You can change the size of the picture, as Lorenzo is showing you. You can change the balancement of the white if you're a fan of photos, if you're an expert of them, of course. So the modes are a lot in both phones, and they're very similar actually. Not a big innovation brought in this aspect of camera. And both phones are able to record video in 4K resolution, but you have to consider that Note 4 has the image stabilizer, so that's of course a big plus while recording video. Now we're going to pass by, we're going of course to compare the same photos taken with these two devices. So let's see the result. In this photo the difference is not so evident. As you can see, also if you zoom a lot, a very good definition in our opinion of both phones. We have zoomed a lot, as you can see right now. The thing that we zoom at is very, very far, but those two phones are great. As you can see right now, the colors are more vivid in Note 4, and this photo is really different, because here you can see the advantage of the image stabilizer. On Note 4, of course, it has lost a lot of definition. On the Note 4, you can see image stabilizer, the photo is perfect. So big difference in the two photos that we've just seen. And this macro is very good in both devices. The level in this photo is comparable. But let's take a look at this one. This is the Lorenzo's dog, and the definition is much, much better in Note 4. If you zoom, you can see this big difference, of course. Also the color, but the definition is not comparable in this one. It blurs a lot in Note 3. Also in this photo, let's take a look at the definition, the colors. It's much more definite in Note 4. So we can say that in Note 4, in the camera aspect, the Note 4 wins. There is a difference, not maybe outrageous, but you can notice an evident difference between these two phones. So if you're very interested in camera, Note 4 has brought an innovation. Not an outrageous thing, but it has more definition with the image stabilizer, 3 megapixel more. So you have to consider this aspect. We're going to talk about them in the conclusion. Now we're going to talk about the colors. Colors are more vivid. Let's take a look at the white. Note 3, good white, but Note 3 tend a little bit to pink in our opinion. Note 4 tend a little bit to light blue. The black are outrageous in both phones. Colors, like we said before, are more vivid in Note 4, but like always, you can change settings if you want them to look more natural. So no problem about that. Now we're going to reproduce a sample video to understand how these two phones behave, how the display is actually. We're going to try to synchronize them. It's not easy, as you can imagine, to see the same video at the same time in both phones, to have the better comparison, the best comparison possible. So let's see. Now we're going to try to synchronize. Yeah, almost. Okay. Here it is. Yeah, those are really testing video, but these phones of course are able to reproduce them without any kind of problem. Talking about the angle of view, is slightly better in Note 4, but outstanding in both phones in our opinion. A fantastic angle of view. You can see the screen from almost every position without any kind of problem. At the maximum lighting, it's slightly better in Note 4, but with both phones you're able to see also if there is a lot of light, also if the sun is up in the sky, you're going to see your screen at the maximum lighting with any kind of problem. So good results by this Note 3 and Note 4. The definition, of course, like we said before, 150 ppi gap for Note 4, of course you notice it, but to notice this 150 ppi gap you need to come very close, because otherwise they seem very, very similar. So if you come really, really close and you're very interested in those aspects, then you're going to notice, of course, the advantage for Note 4, but not a big deal in our opinion, not a very noticeable thing for a lot of people. We can say that. yeah, that was all for the display. Two great displays, by the way, for both phones. Now we're going to reproduce some music in order to understand the quality of the speakers. And this is the big advantage of Note 3, the position. Like Lorenzo is showing you right now, the position is on the lower side. So also if the phone is placed on a table, for example, you're not going to have any kind of problem. In Note 4 is placed on the back. So if the phone is placed on a table, the audio is not 100% clear. And it doesn't come out easily, of course. And so now we're going to reproduce the same song for both phones. This is Note 3. This is Note 4. Let's listen to it. Okay, so those are two audio parts as you have listened, and Note 4 as is more powerful. Is the level of power of the audio in Note 4 is comparable to iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus, so impressive. But Note 3, like I said before, has a better position of the speaker, so the audio part is really comparable. Note 3 wins for the better position, and Note 4 wins for the but maybe better quality and the volume, which is more powerful. So at the end of the match, on the audio part, the level is comparable. Neither of these two phones wins in this aspect. Now we're going to talk about the Antutu benchmark, and we can say that they realize almost the same score, so comparables only in these two aspects. Talking about the gaming part, we're not going to show you the gaming part right now in order to reduce the length of the video, but the gaming part it's outrageous in both phones. Those devices, both of those devices are able to run also testing games without any kind of problem, re-racing free and stuff like that. So you're not going to have any kind of problem if you want to play with these two devices, no difference. The browser, as Lorenzo is showing you, we decided to use the desktop mode for both phones. And this is a testing Italian website, Corriere della Sera, with a lot of links, a lot of photos, videos, and news. So we're going to see how these two phones behave, and the browser experience is guaranteed in both phones. Is at a very great levels in our opinion. They are both very fluid. We notice some slight difference, not important ones, but in our opinion the pinch is more reactive actually in Note 4. The pen is very good in both phones, and also the scrolling is outrageous. You can notice really few white zones, so not a big deal. The slight difference is on the pinch, which is slightly more reactive in Note 4, but not big deal. And two great browser experience guaranteed by both phones. Of course, these are phones that are used a lot also for working and stuff like that, so they have to guarantee a browser experience which is actually precise, reactive, and these two phones are able to gain this very good result in this aspect. Now, as Lorenzo is showing you, we're going to talk about the S Pen. As of course you know, the Note 3 and Note 4, you can use them with the S Pen. We can be useful for some modes connected with the S Pen. For example, you can have the screenshot. You can record, you can take the screenshot, and then you can write with the S Pen in order to send them to your friends. So maybe you want to write something on an image, and doing that with your finger is of course really difficult. So you can use the S Pen in order to be very precise. And there are few modes that you can use with the S Pen. Then of course it can be useful for you. Maybe you've got the ends which are not perfectly clean, so you can use the S Pen in order not to make the screen dirty. So stuff like that, we don't use the S Pen a lot while using Note 3 and Note 4, but it's a matter of choice as always. So the pen are really comparable. One enters the pen of Note 3 enters in Note 4, as Lorenzo is showing you, for example. So the dimension of the pens are really similar, and no big innovation brought in the S Pen and in the S Pen usage by the Galaxy Note 4. So we can move on, and we're going to talk about the conclusion. So we can say that Note 3, in our opinion, is still a top phone. Note 4 may even be the best Android right now existing. The battery is good in both phones, 20 mAh difference, and so in Note 4 is slightly better, maybe 1 hour more with the intensive usage, but both phones guarantees you that you can arrive till after dinner, also if you use them in an intensive way. Both phones guarantees that, so very good battery in both phones. Note 4 is slightly better, not a big deal. Price, it's 769 for Note 4. Online you can find it maybe at 650 Note 4, 380 Note 3. So for this difference, this very big difference of price, in our opinion, Note 3 wins. Still a top phone, the difference of price is very big, so Note 4 wins, but Note 3 wins, excuse me. But if you want the Note 4, of course, you may want to have the latest model, and the camera improvements are really big, as you see. The camera is the big difference between these two phones, in some photos especially, with the image stabilizer, 3 megapixel more. So if you are very interested in camera and in the quality of the display more definite, then, and if you want to have the latest model, then you can, of course, buy the Note 4. Otherwise, we suggest you to go for the Note 3. Guys, thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye by Lorenzo and Alberto of Mobile.